Hi, my name is Billy Brown. I'm a nature writer for Grid Magazine, also for phillynature.org, and right now we're looking at some Canada geese. Now, not everybody loves Canada geese. You might be familiar with their poop, especially if you're walking around a park anywhere in Philadelphia, especially in the summer. You might be someone who has been chased away by territorial or defensive Canada geese if you got a little too close to the nest or to the goslings. But we know that also a lot of people love Canada geese. They are handsome birds with the beautiful black and white markings on their neck and head. People who really do love the goslings, it's a lot of fun to watch them once they've hatched out, walk around with their parents and cross the road and munch on grass and everything. So they sort of are very much a love and hate bird. But something you might not know about Canada geese is that up until about 80 years ago, we didn't have them in Philadelphia. Canada geese, up until then, were migratory birds that came south in the winter from, wait for it, Canada. And what would happen every year is that they would breed up in marshes and wetlands and lakes and ponds and stuff way up north. And then once all that started to freeze over in the fall into the winter, they would migrate south. So Philadelphians would see them in our marshes, in our wetlands, in our ponds, on the rivers, really in the winter. Now, once they got here, we shot the hell out of them. And so one thing to think about is that these days we have very regulated, regimented hunting systems where you've got certain seasons you're allowed to kill certain things. You really can't sell hunted meat in marketplaces, or if it's really hard to do if you can. You have limits of how many things you can shoot. But back then, basically, none of those regulations or systems existed. So people would go out, get their shotguns, kill a whole bunch of geese, sell a whole bunch of geese. And as you can imagine, over the years, decades, even centuries, the result was that we didn't have very many geese left. So starting in the mid part of the 20th century, state game agencies started reintroducing, or I should really say introducing, Canada geese as year-round birds. Now, I've heard of different ways this might have happened. Some of them were pinioned, which is a way of clipping their wings so they couldn't leave in the summer, and so they were stuck all year round. And then their descendants never learned to migrate in the same way, and so became year-round birds. I've also heard that the variety of Canada goose that they used for these introductions, which are called giant Canada geese, that they never migrated a whole lot in the first place, so maybe they were just inclined to stick around. And in any case, what happened is, we got the mid part of 20th century, more and more of these Canada geese getting introduced in states all over the lower 48, and then their offspring stuck around. They had more babies and so on until we've got the huge numbers we have today. They also love the kind of habitat we build around us. They like grass. They like short grass that goes down to water edges, which a lot of our parks have. Think of any park that's got a mowed lawn or mowed grass leading down to the water. And so that's just great for Canada geese. We tend not to have as many other predators. I'd say a lot of the raptors that might feed on them or feed on their offspring have been bouncing back more slowly. A lot of the mammal predators that you might have out in the countryside, you don't have as many of it in the city. So we had a real boom in Canada geese in the past 40, 50 years or so, to the point that they're often considered a bit of a nuisance today. But either way, love them or hate them, they're all over. They're a lot of fun to look at, really beautiful birds. So every year in the spring, you'll see Canada geese pairing up and then finding a nice place to build a nest, usually right by the water, and hatch out their young, their goslings, and then lead them around and sort of grow up as a family through the summer, right? Then in the fall, they start to flock up. So even our resident Canada geese form flocks, fly around together. Through the winter, you might see them. Let's say I saw some on a golf course this year. I was counting 100, 200 geese at a time, which I said to my friends, I saw a lot of Canada geese today, and one of them said, 200 is not a lot of Canada geese. I said, okay. But the idea is that they can form some pretty big flocks in the winter, and they'll still fly around from spot to spot in the winter as they feed over here, roost over here on the water. And then as you get back into the spring, they start pairing off again, and you'll see the two Canada geese, a male and a female, getting ready to raise their young, again by the water somewhere in Philadelphia. So depending whether you like or don't like Canada geese, having them around can be a good thing. If you do like them, they're a lot of fun to look at. They're beautiful birds. Their goslings are cute and a lot of fun to watch. They do cause some problems beyond just the aesthetics of their poop. A lot of Canada geese pooping next to the water can cause water quality problems because all that gets washed into the water. They also can be a problem by overfeeding on certain wetland plants that they particularly like to eat. So it can be hard if you're trying to do wetland restoration. Canada geese will rip out what you've been planting. You have to put up special contraptions and setups to sort of keep the Canada geese out of where you're planting them. But love them or hate them, they're here to stay. So thanks to Fort Mifflin for letting us film today at their beautiful site. This is a great historic site as well as a natural history site. Great place to check out marsh wildlife, check out the river right here, really close to the airport and the bottom corner of Philadelphia. I want to thank the William Penn Foundations for supporting these videos. And of course, this is a production of phillynature.org. Please come over and check out phillynature.org, learn more about the stuff we're talking about today. Maybe drop us a donation if you want to see more content like this. And from Grid Magazine. Please subscribe to Grid Magazine and support environmental journalism right here in Philadelphia. Thank you.